Hello, welcome back to the Spider's Web. Now, what do we have here? We have our Ghoul that we started in the last video. As you can see, his his clothing, shall we say, his rags aren't incredibly well covered. So we'll be going over that and finishing him off in this video. Also, going to be trying to start off, well, not trying to start off, we'll be doing as much as we can of this fella in this video. This is Morgoth the Faceless. Basically what I've done with him is I've primed him with the grey and then sprayed over with the black so we can start actually painting. And then we have a skeleton to paint, and I'm doing this a little different than I normally would, with a design on the shield, which I've done on the others, and I'm not going to say anything more because I want it as a bit of a surprise. Okay, so what are we going to do first? Well, let's put these to one side. Get out my brush and get out the Agrax Earthshade, because we're going to be going over the rags on this Ghoul again. Give it another coat. And that should be it for this figure almost. We will be using a bit of tin bits to go over the all the spikes that are sticking in him. But as far as painting goes, this should finish him. Like I say, it's just a case of the spikes and then adding the blood and the gore to him with the blood for the blood god paint, which shouldn't really take too much time really. As you can see, I'm not fussed about going over all the flesh areas with this. Because the way I'm doing it, it's going to be the shadow area. There we go, so that's that. The beauty with doing this with the wash, or the shades, is it? Yeah, the shade paints, is that you don't really need to highlight, because it just covers in the recesses already. So the areas that would be that we would be highlighting would already be lighter, so I think we can really get away without having to do any highlighting on these. But that so far is all we can do with him. Now let's get cracking with Morgoth the Faceless. Right, let's bring him in. This is a metal figure, it's quite heavy. And what I want to do first is we want to get Abaddon Black. I've got a nail palette. And then we want, haven't got it out, a little bit of the Administratum Grey. I'm still using Administratum Grey, it's just a little bit of that, just to brighten it up a touch. We don't want it too bright, we still want it fairly black, fairly dark, but we do want to see a visible difference. Oops, and that will do. And with this we're going to be doing the cape. We're going to do all the cape, and it's just downward motions because we aren't this is the base colour that the cape is going to be. We're going to put subsequent highlight layers on this as well, so anywhere where there's cloth here we can paint with this dark, incredibly dark grey. There we are, it's just the cape, we're not doing that area in front, that's going to stay black. But now we want a little more, in fact I'm going to change the colour completely by adding some Screaming Skull into the mix, and there we are. Now we're going to change brushes and we're going to be going over to our dry brush. I want a small amount of this on our brush, and we're just going to go straight across that. The helmet, oh god, knocking everything over. I'm just going to move a few things here because I don't want to break anything. The helmet we can go over it with this as well, just on the top area because I want a little bit of colour. On this. There we are. Next we're going to add a little more of the Screaming Skull into the mix, make it just that a bit paler, and now we can get into just picking out certain areas of his robe here. And I know there's certain areas we didn't do with the previous colour, but that doesn't really matter. We're just trying Right, actually just to add a little bit of shade difference, shall we say. We want this completely dark. We don't want any pale colours at all on this, on the main figure anyway. Now we want some more Abaddon black, because I've changed that colour a little too much for what I want next. So we're going to mix some more Abaddon black with a lot more of the Administratum Grey. We're not using Screaming Skull for this. You can see how different a grey it is on the palette. At least I hope you can. Okay, I'm going to wash the brush out and go back to our dry brush. And a small amount of paint on the brush. And just go across gently, smoothly. There we are. Right, next thing we want to do is using I was thinking, yes, there we are. I'm going to be using a little bit of the Runefang steel, and I mean a little bit. We're not going crazy with this because this is going to be incredibly fine, incredibly dry brush, as it were. So we only want a small amount. Just make sure the dry brush is actually dry, and then get a little bit on the brush, and we go over just the edges of the armour, like so. Down there, like so, and there. That is all we're doing for the armour side of it, armour side of things. I'll wash the brush. I'm going to go back to this Administratum Grey and black highlight colour, and just over the arms at the top here is going to be lightly gone over the crisscross belts here, crisscross belt, well, not the crisscross belt, the belt there, and that is it for the main figure. Almost, because I just realised there's other things I want to do first of all before I call it a day on this. Next thing we want is Scorpion Green. Oh, very bright, vivid green. What could I be doing with this? Let's see. So we have Scorpion Green on the palettes. Dry brush, very small amount on the brush, and what we're going to be doing for this is just dry brushing over the front of the mask, or the helmet, whatever you want to call it. So these are the colours I'm picking for this. You can use your own colours if you wish, or you can go with Mantic's colours. There we have that. And now for this area of really weird greenish energy, we're going to be using Nurgling Green. And we'll be mixing that in with the Scorpion Green. There's not much of the Scorpion Green left, so I might as well make use of what little there is. We'll dry that, then we'll get some on this brush and we'll just use this to make like a little bit of the difference to the actual necromancer's energy bolt thingies that's a little bit seem to be a little bit wet. I'm just drying off or wiping off the paint that I've just put on where I can. Let's try again. That's a little better. I'm going to go over this area with Null Nile in a minute because I'm not happy with the way the dry brush has gone because of the brush being a little bit too wet. I'm going to go over it with the Null Nile and then I will pick up a much paler colour to use. I may go with yellow and try and do an incredibly pale highlight with yellow. As I say, at the moment I'm going to be going over, wait till this bit dries and then go over with Null Nile to darken it quite a bit. And that's really all I'm doing for this fella.